welcome back to the Unleashing. So the latest is, from what's being talked about, they are going to indict Trump, okay, which they know is going to cause civil unrest. They want to have basically civil war in the streets by October 31st next month. They're going to use this as an excuse to bypass midterm, keep Dems in the House, control the House. Then they want to pass a gun tax law, which of course is going to be outrageous, like tax stamps for silencers and stuff, but it's going to be anybody that owns guns and firearms, registering them or paying the tax or turning them in. If you don't, which you won't be able to pay at, most people and people that are smart aren't going to be turning in their guns, then they send that 87,000 IRS troops that they have already got to your house to kill you or send you to prison. It's pretty smart, and it will move them getting guns and civil unrest and everything like that out of the way extremely fast. And of course this would be by November, right? And this is part of the latest information that's coming out. We're over the hundreds since the beginning of this year of food processing plants around the U.S., major ones and stuff, that have caught fire, been blowing up and everything else, right? It's completely obvious. If there was 5 of them that went up in smoke, I would be screaming that it's total foul play. They're doing it on purpose to take away our food, right? And cause food price spikes and everything else. But over 100, I mean, it's so bluntly obvious. It's ridiculous. This is what they're doing. If you guys remember last year, Fig Tree Ministry had a vision and or a dream, and it was about a cold winter, and long lines of people were in them trying to get food and just water and stuff like that. And of course, just like what I said last year, we're getting out of here. He felt the exact same way, and everything that was lining up with some of these people that are getting seen and showing stuff, it looked exactly like the very first parts of the tribulation. And of course, if this year with these food plants, I mean, they're destroyed, you're not going to build them back up, you're not going to get the food. We have a shortage coming. We have a disaster coming, unparalleled to anything we've ever seen. Of course, the U.S. doesn't own the back currency anymore. China, Russia do, or whatever, with that ruble or whatever that they put in there. I mean, there's just one different play after another. Military generals and stuff are saying that we don't have enough weaponry to support an attack or go to war if we had to anyways, because we've shipped it all to Ukraine. All the weapons and stuff that are going to Ukraine, they're going to known spots where Russia is bombing and burning it. So they're either keeping the weapons or burning them on the spot. The military or financial aid and stuff that's going to Ukraine is getting kicked back to Nazis over there that are running the show in Ukraine, that are part of running the biolabs and stuff that America's been paying for. They're secretly working for us like proxies and stuff to fund more of that gain-of-fund research and other nasty stuff, right? So the money's going to that. It's not even going to the people. Everybody's up in confusion. And of course, Russia will end up getting Ukraine. Of course, this is going to be just the first parts of the 10 nations that the kings rule. I've said it before. When the tribulation starts and they have the war right before it and everything else, they will use, when the smoke settles, the different settling points of the different territories that they will own. China will probably suck in both the Koreas and stuff like that, along with Taiwan and everything else. Russia's going to take probably the old borders that it used to have, as well as Ukraine and stuff like this. And this is only just the first parts of it, okay? But they're working with the U.S. anyways, and of course we just blame everything on Russia, but they're all behind the scenes doing and playing this together. We're sending the weapons over there on purpose, using the excuse of the war and stuff like that. Of course, they've only sent down their worst troops and machines and stuff that they can have no problem getting rid of a few here and there, which they're doing, while everything's getting better and they're getting stronger. And we're losing all our weapons. What are these weapons? What could they be done with them? Well, straight up, the U.S. could create its own militias and stuff like that, and literally the National Guards and other places could fund these anti-tank missiles and rockets and everything else out to the public if we were going to be invaded from a West Coast naval invasion or Russian invasion and stuff like that, to shoot the tanks and other up-armored vehicles. The stuff that you're going to need, because unfortunately, our AR-15s aren't going to be shooting through a tank, all right? But they know that. So by destroying all the weapons and stuff like that, literally allowing Russia to do that, we're not going to be able to have that sort of defense and stuff. So with no food, our economy tanking, winter looking worse than ever. Of course, they're doing that all over in Europe as well. They're cutting the fuel lines and stuff like that. So they're not going to be able to stay warm this winter. They're going to be freezing to death, right? It's going to kill more people. Of course, we also have this in the background. They control basically half the Earth's population at the touch of a button. Who knows when they're going to start putting that into play. But those people are still dropping daily, right? Okay. It's looking pretty gloomy, right? And that's just probably the tip of the iceberg. I mean, but that's just some of the stuff going on. Meanwhile, we're about to start a new Shemitah cycle. All right, this is the Jubilee year coming up after Atonement or whatever. It's starting. Is the rapture going to happen? And of course, I mean, everything's in play. Look at what's going on this fall and stuff like that. This is going to be so catastrophic. It's unbelievable. Nobody's going to want to be here if we have to go through this another year. All right. Winter's going to be so difficult. It's unbelievable. The struggle's already real as it is. I've been struggling for a long time. It's so annoying, and I'm so tired of it. I want out of here worse than anything, right? I mean, I can't stand it. And the honest truth is, I do not know. I do not know if we're getting out of here this year, even with all the obvious stuff that points to it. Like, this is the worst thing that's ever going to happen. I mean, there's nothing we can do about this. We're not going to have food this winter. They're not going to have fuel. We're running out of weapons. We're so primed for an invasion from every side. It's unbelievable. They're using the Trump indictment that they're planning on doing to cause more civil unrest, which is what it was designed to be the whole time. I told you in 2016 while praying for Trump, that I was told, let the dead bury the dead. It's all been an inside job the whole time. Unfortunately, he was picked to be put in to cause a civil unrest. All right, this is just the secret stuff. It's not me bashing against the administration because, like I've said before, at face value, if you didn't know any of the secret stuff, I'd say he's one of the best presidents we've ever had, obviously, right? Trying to do good, make America good, everything like that, bring back Christian values and all that good stuff. Unfortunately, it's all been a ploy to create an extreme right and left division, which we are going to be going to war with because the left is so absolutely disgusting. It's unbelievable. I mean, if you could be voting for a pedophile knowingly, all right, and they haven't even seen the worst of this stuff. I mean, this guy's probably at Jeffrey Epstein's island every day. I mean, and now that Jeffrey Epstein's still alive, yes, by the way, he's still alive. They just moved him out of there, all right, and he has a different name right now, but he'll be coming back out on the scenes. Just look at his little counterpart, the chick. She's in a bare minimum security prison. She gets to do yoga and watch Netflix, TV, and everything else. She's at, like, basically a getaway until the right time, because when all this stuff breaks down, all the guys that they've put that have done work for them and stuff like that, that they've paid huge bucks, told their families and stuff like that, they'll just bring them out and put them back into play. They're all going to be free to walk, right? So I mean, just look at all that stuff right now. But the president's speech that he just did the other day with the red glooming in the back and stuff like that. Here's what's disturbing. I mean, it's designed to be disturbing looking, right? It's supposed to be pure evil, right? It looks like the First Order from Star Wars, right? Like some Nazi stuff, and yet there are people that actually like that, like majority of public, all right? And that's where I'm going to stop. That is how divided it is right now between the right and the left. There are people that actually are so left that they like that. I mean, this guy is a step away from being Satan, you know what I'm saying? Of course, the whole regime is that's in our government. And yet there's people that like it. I mean, so when there's going to be a civil war, an uprising, is it justified to even go after these people on the left that literally love that stuff? Oh, it's so justified. It's unbelievable. It's almost righteous to take them out, right? It's almost righteous to take them out. And so, I mean, like, it's literally flowing in the blood of the American people right now, right? The anger, the frustration, the difficulty, and everything like that. I mean, it's just going to take that spark, and this thing's going up like a gas-filled chamber. It's just going to explode. And it's so close to happening. And of course, within this crazy chaos, we're going to be so perfectly prepped to be hit from every other side, that they'll just sweep in and just blow us all to pieces and take America out. It falls in an hour, right? Because it's Babylon. So is the rapture happening this year? Are we getting out of this mess? And I can't say for sure. It's looked so good so many times before that I'm seriously in the boy who cried wolf sort of syndrome. I was straight up told last year that it's most definitely this year. Straight up told, and then asked for a confirmation, right? Speaking of which, that's the first time I heard Fig Tree Ministries. It was the first time that I remember actually listening to them, and I was talking to God, and I was asking for a confirmation right on the spot, like, God, should I tell the people, I mean, that what you told me that you're coming back? Because I could have just kept it to myself. And I was literally listening to him for the first time, and he just started going off. Unleash the unleashing, unleash the unleashing. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, wow, okay. And then, but that wasn't even enough. I went back to my camping spot and I asked God. And I read the Bible in order when I'm in a spot. I'm not bouncing around. And I was in Ezekiel 11 or whatever, and not even realizing what I was about to be reading. But I asked God, I'm like, God, could you show me what I'm about to read here? I'm going to read a chapter. And could you talk to me again? I mean, I need to know if I'm going to be sharing this, if you're going to be coming back, because there's no way I want to lead anybody astray. And I literally get Ezekiel 12, and specifically spoken on. The things I said before that were delayed aren't going to be delayed. I'm going to do them right now. I'm like, wow. If that isn't another confirmation, I don't know what it is. And of course, I got a few more and stuff like that. So I did. And then nothing happened last year, right? So, I mean, in all fairness, I kind of have like a right to have this boy who cried wolf syndrome going on, and it's making it tough. All right, it's making it really tough. Like, is he going to come back, or does it have to get even worse than this? And everything that I just mentioned, right? It's everything that's necessary for the start of the tribulation. It literally is. And none of this can change. All these factors and stuff, food coming in, it's not going to happen within this time. If you guys have looked at the first, second, third quarters and stuff like that, like they've said before, if by the second quarter it's not pulling back out, we're going into a recession. Third quarter's looking this way, fourth quarter, I mean, America's coming down right now. They're bringing it to its knees. They're leveling it. They're rendering it to the ground, right? So are we getting out of here, or is this going to continue on? And how could it, if we're going to be in the middle of another cycle, if God decides to come back later or whatever else? We're not making it another 7 years or another 2 years or anything like that. I don't know how we can even make it, a few more weeks or months. So where are we in this, and what's going to happen? So the question is, how bad is it really going to get before we get out of here, right? That's the question. And I don't know, all right? There's different balances that you have to look at here. Are people going to be given in marriage if it's a complete societal breakdown? Well, the rich seem to still be doing just fine, being able to pay for food, eat, go out, do whatever they want. It's the people that are middle class and low class right now that are all they're all really going to be getting hit hard. There's also something else. If we get hit hard enough and people are forced out of homes, it's going to create communities possibly in the wilderness. And if everybody's suffering at the same time, there's a camaraderie that starts to happen where if you're all in it together, it feels a little bit more supportive. It's not like if everybody's doing fine and I'm suffering here, there's no camaraderie. I'm like suffering alone. But if other people start to have to go through it too, and I'm sure they've calculated for that, so they would have to do it fast in a way that would catch everybody off guard. And of course, the speed that they're moving right now, it would definitely do that. It would throw people off. But will it happen right now? Is the rapture coming back? Is Jesus coming back right now? This month, right now, at the end, the start of it, everything, it's absolutely perfect timing for that to happen. But will it? I gotta tell you, man, I want it to more than anything, obviously. I'm in a terrible spot right now. And I've suffered long enough. I was just thinking about it when I was laying in bed this morning. It was 2017 when I was driving up the hill. When I was in tears, and God asked me if I was going to continue on, and I told him that I would. And he said, good, you can ride with me. And it cheered me up instantly, right? But that was 5 years ago, and it has gotten so much worse since that time. And I mean, it's everything is just I can't even take anything serious. It's just a joke. I'm on job 43 right now. I'm looking for 44 right now. It's constant misery. I was looking at some jobs yesterday or whatever, and anything decent, like right in the description. Unless you've had your vaccine, you can't work for us. And it's like, good grief. I mean, they've made it difficult, if not impossible, all over the place. And it seems like there's never a break. Well, there isn't. Not that I've experienced, anyways. There are no breaks. It's just been one hellhole after another, with just the crappiest pay possible, and I'm just trying to make it by, get by, pay rent and everything like that. And I think back to that vision, and I mean, obviously, I was in a tough spot then too, and stuff. So I mean, that's lined up with it good, but will it happen? I talked to my stepdad on his birthday about 3 or 4 days ago, and I wished him happy birthday and stuff like that. And I care about him a lot. I don't want anything to happen to him, and that's why I told him before, in that vision that I saw him and he wasn't going up. But I talked to him, and we used to talk about everything, a whole bunch of cool stuff. I'd go into the job where he worked. He was the manager at Harley Davidson, and I'd go into his office and I would tell him some of the newest discoveries and stuff that I had, and some other cool stuff, and I'd show it to him, and it was fun to talk with somebody. He's very book smart and stuff, and smart enough to, I can throw out some different topics and information and stuff like that at him, and he can actually have a conversation with me. There's not many people that I can do that with, and it's nice. It was nice to have him talk back and stuff like that, but we didn't talk for a long time, and my information never starts coming in. It just keeps compounding and growing and growing. And now it's got to the point that I don't even know if I could talk about some stuff. Because the last time we did talk about some things, it was the start of this. I said some stuff that I had discovered already, and he got all scared, and we hadn't really talked on the phone since. So it makes it kind of tough. But I talked to him, told him, happy birthday and stuff, and I missed him, and missed talking to him and stuff. And anyways, he said he was coming to see me, and it'd be next spring, right? And of course, spring, as you guys know, is what I've said. Another reason why is because it was clear out in that vision. It looked clear, the skies were and stuff like that. And come fall, fires and everything, it's smoky out right now, so things would have to clear up and stuff. But he's definitely planning to come see me next spring. At least that's what he says, And it's crazy because after all this time, it would be like 9 years or whatever since I had that vision. He's finally coming to see me. And of course, as you guys know, because I've been telling you the whole time since the fourth video or whatever I put out back in 2017 in April, I told you that vision, and it's just more and more and more of it has been filled and come to pass, and everything, even the way that I'm looking, the direction, why I saw 8 people, all of it. And and of course, I mean, I've told you way before they started discussing aliens on Fox News and stuff like that, and that's starting to become a reality. I said all of it from the vision, and you guys have seen it start to come to pass and stuff like that. So I got to tell you, though, if he's coming next spring, all right, and that does line up, that's gloomy information, because that would mean we'd be making it through another winter, all right? And I already told you the fun stuff we have to look forward to, all right? It's not going to be fun at all. It's going to be what nightmares are made of, okay? Like I say, the best thing that could happen is if enough people were able to move in the wilderness, which would create communities that they could support each other and stuff like that, then it would be halfway okay. But I don't think that that's going to be allowed to be happening. It's they're going to catch people off guard, and once you get isolated, they can do whatever they want. They can just shoot you or whatever, or take you to a camp where they're going to kill you and stuff. And of course, they've never stopped with the FEMA camps and the guillotines. They have been prepping the whole time for all that stuff. I mean, it's literally on standby. Military bases and stuff, they refurbished up different areas, including up in Alaska and stuff like that. And they've got them all set up for this stuff, so it could be done basically overnight when it happens, And like I say, it's right at the end. Fig Tree Ministry, he put out a video the other day. It was an urgent message that he got, and he was warned that October's coming in September, basically things are coming a month ahead of time, right, ahead of schedule. And for those that are able to fast and pray or whatever, to do that, to basically pray for those that are looking for the return of the Lord, which is a select few of people. Not everybody wants that to happen, obviously, but those that are looking for it, to fast and pray and hopefully hasten this thing so we can get out of here. And of course, nothing I want more than to get out of here, be done with this whole mess. But will it happen? The honest truth is that I don't know right now. I mean, everything is right there for it to happen, for it to take place. I want it more than anything, but I'm at the point now where I don't know. Do I believe that the timing of me and my brother's confirmation that he was coming back last year was significant? Yeah, and the message that I got was that it was held back for a year for whatever reason. And I will never give power to CERN to do that. I will never give power to anything that takes power away from God. All right, nothing is taking power away from God. If God decides it or allows it, it's one thing, but there is no machine or anything like that where it's changing a dimension. And even though they are, it's going to interact and have power over God. All right, that's not happening at all. God decides, God chooses, everything like that. So whatever reason, why ever he did it, I don't know. I know what I was told. I know the other watchmen, they were watching, including the visions and stuff they had, including Fig Tree, where they saw the lions in the winter and stuff like that, which looks like it's going to be this winter. It was all lined up. We expected it to happen last year, and it didn't. So, like I say, there's at this point, I don't have any guarantee on anything. I just I watch and I calculate and look at it, and it looks like it's about to go down. I don't believe in mid-trib, six-seal raptures, anything like that. I believe in pre-tribulation rapture, obviously. And, I've said it long enough, the reasons why and things like that. But I just don't know. We're a few weeks out. I mean, some stuff would have to start breaking out right now. And if they're planning to do that later on, that throws a huge wrench in things, because the tribulation starts in the fall, because it'll end in the fall. It wraps up and finishes up the feast days, right? So the days line up. So somewhere within the fall, right, is when the tribulation starts. So when people talk about the rapture happening in January and stuff like that, I have a problem with that. The reason why is because the tribulation will be starting in the fall. If the rapture happened like in January or December or something like that, that is 8 to 10 months of free time in between that and the start of the tribulation. You see how fast that they can move stuff, right? At the speed of light, stuff is just, it goes bad. And with like Christians gone, it will move quicker than you can possibly imagine. That's literally what's holding things back. So for it to go 8 months, no way. No way. Maybe spring into late summer, and then when they make the peace deal in the fall, that's a possibility. But like for 10 months or something, no way. The rapture has to be closer proximity to the tribulation, if not right on it, because it's an escape. We're getting pulled out like right almost at the moment. So if the tribulation is going to be starting this fall, then we're in the proximity of doing that. But if it starts to go past that, then it's something that I personally would think that we're pushing on until next year, starting in spring again, and then working our way through summer to fall. Right? I obviously do not want that to happen at all. I don't want to have anything to do with that. I want to get out of here right now. I can't do this much longer. I'm seriously, I've been at my breaking point. I've beyond my breaking point for a while now. The frustration, isolation, loneliness, depression, just sheer dread of the next day of nonsense is it's literally overwhelming. I don't even want to play it. I feel like we're practically in it right now, and it hasn't even started yet. All right, and I just don't know. We don't know yet. I mean, things can change in a day, literally, but only time will tell. And like I say, that's just the latest stuff right now on how it looks, which isn't good. It doesn't look good at all. Well, let's talk on a good note here for a second, all right? With all this crap that is coming our way. this really does look like it's lined up absolutely perfect for it. All right. We know that they want to wrap this thing up by 2030, and their plan seems to be going according to schedule. All right, that's going to be 7 years. All right, coming up, and I mean, it's right on schedule with the 7-year tribulation and everything that we're expecting to see. That I've said for a long time, that they have to take down America first. It falls first. You get it out of the way, and then you can usher in the whole thing, right? They have to get us out of the way first, though. Okay, and we are Babylon. But I mean, all the deceptions there, the fake teachers, the false prophets, it's all there. Everything that's in play that was spoken of by God is there. And while I'm thinking of how terrible it would be to go into the next year, right, and how awful that your thought is, we literally could be a couple of days, a week or two away from God actually just showing up and fixing the whole thing, and all of that being escaped from. And that's a wonderful thought to think about, and I pray that that's what happens. And I encourage all of you to be doing the same thing. Pray like you've never prayed before, that God's coming back this year to get us out of here. Pray Maranatha as soon as humanly possible, because if not, it's going to get really rough. And I remember there was some kind of line or whatever that I was in that gas station, in that vision and stuff. Things did not seem like they were good, but the way the whole time things works with compression, I might have been getting a little taste of what it's like in the beginning. Who knows? I might have saw partly into it. Then I got to experience the rapture. There's really no way to tell, but it's played a part. It's played a role in my life for the 8 years. It's given me that encouragement also at the same time to keep going, because I did get to experience it. And it was the most amazing thing ever. Obviously, I've said it 1,000 times. It was so awesome. And I mean, so much of it now has come to play. Obviously, you guys have heard it from the beginning. You've watched how it just keeps unfolding and more of that information keeps coming out. I mean, I saw the future. But what part of it, or how that plays in, I'm not sure. Did I see part of what it was like in the tribulation? Maybe. So maybe it doesn't get that bad. I don't know exactly. I just know that it just keeps unfolding more and more. And now my stepdad's plan is to come and see me next. So whenever that is, next year or whatever else. I don't know, but it is really unique to see it unfold one thing after another. For those that think that we're in the tribulation and stuff, we're not, all right? I know it seems bad, but there is no time that will ever be like it. So when people say they're in the tribulation, or they mix it into a half tribulation, so now they're looking for the rapture, but they think it's the halfway point of the tribulation. We've already been in it 3.5 years. It's so silly, because when it really starts, I've already broken down the numbers. Within like the first year and a half, over 2 billion people are dead. You're looking at numbers that are so astronomically catastrophic. By the halfway point, about 6 billion people are dead. Okay, I've broken down the numbers before on how it happens using the 2 witnesses, their time when they have to be there, how they're out of the way before Israel can get persecuted, which they're required to go into the wilderness for protection for 3.5 years. So the 2 witnesses have to be there right in the beginning. The 7th trumpet wraps up right when the 2 witnesses are taken up to heaven. So the first 6 or 7 seals and first 7 trumpets happen in the first 3.5 years. Okay, I've told you about the time compression, what John sees. Revelation 13 actually happens in the beginning of the tribulation. All this stuff going on right now has been part of it. Another thing I want to point out is the last video that I made, where I was talking about the AI system, how it's going to control those and stuff like that. YouTube did something very sneaky at the same time. They took down a video right when that one was coming out. They didn't give me a strike for it, but they took it down and said it was against their guidelines. But it was a very specific video. You know what that video was on specifically? It was the one I did last year, where I said, what happens if you get this? But at the same time, within the instructions of the code sequencing, the luciferase, the glow in the dark stuff, and all that other crazy crap goes to a couple certain places on your body. One, your hand, the other, your forehead, right? What happens if it does that? And what John sees is, yeah, they're getting scanned in the right hand and their forehead, okay? But you never even had to get anything there in the first place, because it's already been put into it, okay? And that's the video they took down, all right? That video is from last year, and they decided to just secretly take it down. Right? There's a lot of people saying, "No, it's not, because you'll be taking in your right hand to your forehead," and of course they've already taken stuff anyways through cowardice, right? And I just wanted to point out it's interesting that they went after that video, because that's specifically talking on that right there. In fact, the whole RFID chip thing and the hand and stuff like that might have been a reverse psychology ploy the entire time, that people are expecting that. So while they're looking at that and it's saying it's still time off, or they're doing a little bit here and there, and if you stay away from your safe, you're already doing it by doing that, which having your DNA change and stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting. All right, that's pretty interesting. But we're not in the tribulation yet, like I say. But it's closer than ever, and I absolutely believe 100% God comes and gets us first. All right. It's not just Paul that speaks of it. All right, it's throughout the Bible, and Jesus specifically speaks on it too. All right, he tells us that he's coming back. All right, he's going to get us before this whole thing goes down. All right, and I know this for a fact. Okay, so be encouraged on that, because when you see this stuff start to happen, then look up, for your redemption draweth nigh. All right, and pray like you've never prayed before. This is the time that we're getting out of here, because even going another year on what they have planned and what's coming down, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be the end of America. It's literally happening right now. People are going to be starving and dying and everything else, right? So we need to get out of here as bad as possible. This thing needs to get started. People need to realize what's going on, the whole story of God, and start giving their lives to him. And of course that doesn't happen until it really kicks off, and loved ones are taken, and children are taken and stuff like that, and they can actually see once and for all, hey, it's all real, and your whole facade, this dream of a future and lifestyle of riches and stuff like that, that you bought into, it's all fake. It has been the whole time. All right, the real story is our test and passing it to go be with God. So keep that in mind. But this is just some of the latest few things on my mind that I wanted to talk about. It's not looking good, but if we're about to get out of here, and I pray that we are, it's looking really good. But only time will tell. We'll find out here soon enough, and it's one step at a time, I guess. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But God bless. I'll catch you next time on the Unleashing, or hopefully I'll see you in the air here soon. But continue to pray right now, because we need to get out of here seriously bad. All right. God bless. Bye.